Okay guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create your 3D printed keychain. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to consider the different limitations of the 3D printer. So let's go ahead and find the Zelda Triforce outline. Those of you that have ever played Zelda know what this is, and those of you that have never ever played Zelda, it's this triangular shape right here. Now, I'm going to try and find something that is, I'm going to choose this one. Let's see if it's a good one to save. So if I right click on it, oh, it is a PNG image. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to go back over to Inventor, and I'm going to start a sketch on my XY plane. I'm going to bring in that image of the Triforce and just place it. Okay, so one of the things about your 3D printed keychains is that it has to remain within the area or the space of a 3x2 triangle. Now, a 3x2 rectangle. Now, since I'm using a triangle, I can go ahead and make this a 2.5 by 2.5 triangle, and that a rectangle, and that will stay within the right constraints for this project. Okay, so I'm just going to I can just constrain my triangle to fit inside my, oops, that's not right. I can constrain my triangle to fit within my rectangle. Alright. Okay. So this is what I'm going to start with. I know that I still have some space up here, but remember that we are creating a 3D printed keychain, so I'm going to leave this space for other things. Alright, so I'm going to finish my sketch and create a new sketch on the XY plane. So if I go up to my rectangle button and click on the pull down menu, I can go down to polygon. I can type in that I want a polygon with 3 sides, and it creates a triangle for me. So I'm just going to move my triangle to line up with my origin. I'm going to make sure that it is horizontal, and I'm going to make sure that the base is 2.5 inches wide. Okay, I'm then going to create some lines. All I'm going to do is find the middle of this side of my triangle, this side, and like so. Okay, so basically, well, it's kind of hard to see since my lines are black, but basically there's my Triforce. So go ahead and finish sketch, and we are going to extrude. We're going to extrude. Well, it won't show us that, so I'm going to go over to my browser bar, right click on sketch 1 and turn off the visibility, and then I'm going to extrude my 3 triangles like so. But I'm only going to do it in, I'm going to only be extruding this by, let's say 0.1875. And I'm going to make it like so. Okay. So, create a new sketch right here on the top, or I'm sorry, on this face here. And I'm going to go to project geometry and project the geometry of all 3 triangles. Now I'm going to offset this because like this is fine, but I want to give it a little bit more character. So I'm going to offset this in by 0.03, offset this by 0.03, and offset this by 0.03, and then I'm going to finish my sketch and then extrude just the outer part of what I created. So you might have to zoom in just to find what it is that we're looking for. And I'm going to extrude this by 0.06. Okay, so that's pretty cool, but I'm still thinking it's missing something. So what I thought it was missing was that those offsets that I made were a little too thin. So I went back and I changed them to 0.06, and that made them thicker. Now what I notice here is that this space between where the two triangles are touching is very thin, and I don't want that to be a point where my keychain would break. So I'm going to turn it around and look at the back face and create a sketch on this back triangle right here. And I'm going to project just the corners of each of my triangles and then draw lines connecting those points. Okay, so once you have that, let's see, let's go ahead and offset this. Don't know why it's saying that. So let's go to offset and choose loop select, or uncheck mark loop select. And I'm going to choose 2 of those lines, and that worked. And I'm going to offset these by 0.06. And then we'll continue with this line down here, 0.06. And then I'm going to trim just these corners down here. Okay, and finish my sketch. Extrude just that large triangle. Change the direction, and we're going to be adding it, and that adds a little bit of thickness right here. Actually, instead of adding just that 0.06, I can go ahead and say change my distance from 0.06 to this face and say OK, and there you go. Okay, so here is our Triforce keychain. Okay, but before it is a keychain, we do have to add a location for the key ring to actually connect. Now there's 2 different ways that we can do this. We can create a sketch on the XY plane, and that sketch is just going to be a circle that has a dimension of 0.1875. Okay, so you guys see it's a fairly teeny tiny circle, and I'm going to offset this by 0.06. Okay, now this keychain hole or key ring hole can go anywhere that I want. It could fit inside my Triforce, it could fit on the side over here, or it could fit on the top up here. There's a lot of different locations for this to go. That is totally up to you, wherever you guys want to put it. For me, all I'm going to do is click on the tangent button, choose my inner circle, and then choose this line, and anywhere that I put this circle is going to be fine. Now I can go ahead and dimension it, but for me it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to extrude just this, and I'm not going to go a full distance all the way to the front. I'm only going to go about half, or 0.125, and I'm going to change my direction and I only want it to go like that. That's really all I really want it to go into the part, because again, it is fitting on a keychain, so I don't want it to be too thick, otherwise it won't slide on the keychain. And say okay, and there is my key ring for the keychain. Okay, now we can go ahead and add fillets and make it look pretty, just to smooth everything out, and I think that looks pretty good. So however it is that you guys will be designing your own keychains is perfectly fine. Just remember that you follow any constraints that I have given you, and that you are using the skills and the knowledge that I have taught you so far to the best of your ability. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.